Assalamu alaikum. How's everybody doing? Okay, good morning to those out there this Monday morning here in September. What is it? Friday was 13th, Saturday was the 14th, Sunday was the 15th. On Monday on the 16th of September 2024. So, okay, now I said I was going to go ahead and do a full review of the new Atlas Gold C40-8. Okay, for Norfolk Southern, number 8709. Now, I couldn't wait. I'm sorry. I couldn't wait. And I took it out of the box. I had plans for this engine for some time. Okay, I had some plans that said, I went ahead and stuff, man. The guys, the train world wasn't there, so that way I can, test it out there. However, stuff went on ahead, and, my lunch break, right now I'm off the clock, and stuff, I already pulled a 12-hour shift, so I'm a little exhausted. However, I said I was going to go ahead and get to this review about this C40-8. This C40-8 locomotive. A little backstory. I took it out the box, okay, and I went on ahead and I went to work on the details, okay, the different details. Now, one thing I must say, okay, what they have done with this engine and what I'm glad Atlas has been doing lately was install ditch lights, okay, on the front as well as the back. And, I couldn't wait. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to just show a stock model. I mean, it's nothing to really write home about if you're doing contemporary models, especially those out there doing like, mid-90s, okay, early to mid-90s, okay, mid-90s, mid to late 90s, okay, early 2000s and whatnot. Okay, I purchased the engine, and not only did I purchase the engine, I went on ahead and I got the LED lights necessary for me to go ahead and wire it up to the trucks and stuff for the, for the truck lights. I mean, the track inspection lights in the technical term, as well as the step lights and the, the track inspection lights, as you see here, okay, which they didn't have on the model, okay, as well as the step lights. Okay, I got this guy right here. Okay, I don't want to move it and stuff because right now, of course, as you see, it's a kind of like a temporary switching type deal. So I have it right, so I wired it up, according to, what the engine is, what the engine, looked, I weathered it according to, how the engine supposedly looked in its last months of service, its twilight years of service. I still have several SD40-2s as well as, SD70s, -9s. Okay, and I got a stick link for the standard cabs. But one in particular, okay, was the -8 models. Okay, the -8s. I saw one in Hopewell, Virginia, lashed up with a -9. Okay, C40-9, a younger, more modern variant of the C40-8. Okay, I wanted to also get the C39-8, for Norfolk Southern as well. Okay, because it was kind of ubiquitous, it was unique, and, something out there that, I can, model. So, anyway, so what we're going to do, okay, I'm going to show you what I did. The snowplow on the engine, okay, it was cheesy, to me, it was cheesy. So I took it off, okay, I went on ahead and got to work on a cosmetic work on the locomotive because they had, the snowplow. I'm about to pull it out because I initially took that off, okay, because it just did not fit this type of engine, okay, well, it wasn't prototypically accurate, for this Norfolk Southern model. They have a unique type of snowplow, and this is the snowplow that came with the locomotive. Okay, now this right here, this snowplow could have went with the Line GP40 as well as the Canadian Pacific CP Rail variant of the GP40. And well, now I painted it to CPKC, so this snowplow would fit that. This is perfect for that engine. But this right here, this particular locomotive, nah, this is a unique type. I went on ahead and got the correct snowplow. I installed it ahead in my scrap box. Okay, the proper snowplow. Okay, I went on ahead and again I updated the painted the front brow sill, okay, for the headlights, as well as, silver tip the head ditch light housings, okay, and I also went on and I cut the plastic joint off and I added actual scale chains to the locomotive. All right, so let's go down. Now, mind you, I weathered the locomotive according to how it looked, okay, and its twilight years of service, okay. It had a decent amount of road grime, on there. So as it's standing still and, me on the railroad now, what I'm saying, it looks clean from afar, but when you go close up, it's kind of dirty. Atlas does include a scale chain, okay, a brake chain to the locomotive. Okay, they do, of course, have the cab figures and stuff inside. Okay, it's got the, what I'm saying, it was pretty basic. Okay, fuel tank, pretty basic, and now for this particular engine, when I got it out of the box, okay, one thing I gotta say is the truck was, whatever they did, I don't know, it was a quality issue, what I'm saying, but the truck, this is more fitting for, I say, the way the truck side frames would be beneficial for the front, okay, instead of the one brake shoe that's supposed to be right here and the double brake clasp supposed to be right here. Well, the double brake clasps they put right here, okay, and the single brake clasp right here, which is not so prototypical and stuff. So, but I'm not gonna, bellyache over it, but this is something out there I, pinged it for. Again, I added the step lights, because, and I painted the sills and stuff. Again, the engine built up a lot of road grime. The locomotive has, I changed the cheesy Accumate couplers, and I put the, KD couplers on there. And stuck KD's number 158s on there. And, so, okay, we're going to take it off the track right now so that way I can, give you a little more focus, get a little more balance going on. So, okay, yes, it had the decals, okay, the safety warning labels on, some of the doors. Okay, it's legible, for under magnification. Now, okay, it has the P5 horn. Okay, if this is not the P5 horn, but it's the actual horn that Norfolk Southern usually uses on most of its locomotives. Now, for the smokestack, I went on ahead and modified it because the smokestack that came with this engine was kind of toyish. Okay, and it was just like silver, and it was just clear silver all over. Okay, and it was not see-through. I changed that, and I went on ahead and opened that. I took it off and scraped the insides. Weathered it heavily because it gets very hot. So in this area right here above the main motor block, okay, I went on ahead and I added the smokestack. Got a lot of soot, a lot of ash. Rust buildup and everything on this locomotive. They do have etched metal grates on the radiator wings, and basic utilitarian, mold on, okay, for the radiator grills on the back, but it's not see-through and stuff, unfortunately. Uh, okay, this is the back of the locomotive. Okay, there's no snowplow, MU cables, rear ditch lights, a couple lift rings. Yeah, it's pretty basic. Your independent brake lines as well as your main train line, air feed. Uh, okay, on to the conductor side. Okay, same thing. It's not see-through. I think that, at some point in time, and plus the price point, was lower than what I expected. Okay, for something that that's supposed to be more updated. Okay, if anything, they just added the ditch lights, which most people out there look for, as the 90s and the late 90s was more transitional. Okay, as new power started coming online, and you see a lot of wide cabs starting to control the line and everything, and full trains. But they went on ahead and mandated the 1997 mandate that everybody have ditch lights, or road power have ditch lights, anything going over 20 miles per hour and over. Yes, same thing. Again, the engine does have, sanding lines here in the back. Let me take this little man off right here. Okay, I'll put him back on. But yes, they do have sanding lines like they previously had on, previous runs. Okay, so it's pretty basic. I added the spare knuckle box. Okay, that's usually with pretty much a lot of their equipment, their motor power. Okay, you have a spare knuckle bracket box. Okay, you got your large box, your dynamic brake housing, as well as a squared angular cab with the windshields and everything. Your conductor side has got their usual, engineered conductor. Okay, in their 50s style dress code, dress wear or whatever and stuff. Again, I'm not taking points out of there. The bottom of the locomotive is pretty basic and stuff. You got your little bell and everything. And like I said, I don't take points. You got your speed recorder, okay, right there. And again, I went ahead and I added the snowplow, okay, the proper snowplow for this particular locomotive, as well as scale chains, okay, for the access walkway. You're going to multiple unit with another engine. Now, one thing I didn't do, okay, I did not add the porch lights. So I'll probably do that in a later date. I'm thinking about it, but that's something out there stands out. Okay, the porch lights. That was necessary on a lot of General Electric engines and stuff. Especially I used to see that when they, was idle. Another thing is I couldn't find the horse, and that's the thing about New York City. They don't have the aftermarket parts, and you have to order out. Okay, I wanted the Norfolk Southern horsehead, okay, which this engine did have in its twilight years. Number 8709, okay, saw this sort of conclusion of its service, okay, on 2017, I believe. Okay, well, that's the last picture, courtesy of the actual photographer that I saw with this locomotive. Okay, this locomotive does have an ESU Loc Sound V5 motor in there, or decoder in there. So we're going to go ahead and put it on the track right here. Okay. All right. So, okay, I got, stuff for my engines. Okay. The DWLTA. Okay. Because I'm going to make a, interchange. Okay. In upstate New York. Okay. On the southern tier where it changes hands. freight to go to DWLTA, my freelance railroad. So I'll talk about that at a later date. Okay, the green patterns and everything, the leaves and everything, because I mean, GVOs. You know what I'm saying? GVOs is the word of the day. Okay, I think I talked about the SD70 at one point in time. And I got a stick link for, standard cabs. So, I know right now, what I'm going to do. Now, this locomotive, okay, what they did with the Dash 8s, it's not as loud as most would want it. But again, you know what I'm saying? It's not a deal breaker. Okay, I don't have no over the photo shots. Okay, over the engine photo shots where I can actually identify the different antennas, because you got your ice skate antenna as well as the small antenna on the top of the cab. Again, some things are not a deal breaker. I don't want to say salvage, what I'm saying, something like this and stuff, what I paid $235 for. I mean, there was no turning back. I mean, it's quite a utilitarian locomotive. You know what I'm saying? And also the steps are not etched like the prototype. You know what I'm saying? I'll, go ahead and upgrade that. And I'm going to do some things with this engine. So I can say, at best, what I classify it into, I would say it's between Trainline as well as Atlas Gold. Because there's some things, okay, with this type of locomotive and the line that it's in, I think that they could have advanced a little more, done a little more. But again, it's got the ditch lights, so it's a start right there. So I'm not going to push the issue. So, go ahead, put the headlights on. Now, the thing about the headlights, as well as the number boards, they are unfortunately not independent from each other. Okay, this may change very soon. Okay, knowing me. The ditch lights, okay, is also, what I'm saying, that's separate. Okay. According to Norfolk Southern practice, okay, they do flash. The bell, okay, just like an actual Dash 8. Okay, ditch lights does flash when you honk the horn. Okay, I also want to change that horn to a P5 sounding horn because again, Norfolk Southern, had a lot of P5s in their engine. So we'll go ahead and move this and advance this engine forward. Brake squirrel. Okay. Good lighting effects at nighttime is pretty bright, I gotta say. Okay. And the engine got just nice, decent heft. Again, when you honk the horn. Rule 17. The lights don't quite dim, you know what I'm saying? But you cut it on and And one thing about how I like my engines, okay, is I like those lights nice and bright. Like a typical General Electric locomotive, wheel squeal. Again, you know what I'm saying? At nighttime, if you're doing night operations, it's a pretty good engine to go ahead and, work out. Okay, it pretty much illuminates the place, illuminates the spot. So, it's workable. Okay, it's workable. I really like the brightness of the lights. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And even though, some would classify me as a daggone rivet counter, but okay, advance forward. So I want to go ahead and collect the cards. Got some dragging equipment back here that's caused it to slip. Other than that, the locomotive's pretty powerful. And typical of Norfolk Southern practice, they always put the lighter cars, you know what I'm saying, before the daggone heavier cars. I'm not trying to, rank on Norfolk Southern, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to, front or whatever. And this is what causes some accidents with them streamlining. Gotta clean these tracks. Now, I must say, I did my modifications before I can really, you know what I'm saying, man, I don't want to say give Atlas a leg up, on the competition, but, you know what I'm saying, would I get this engine again? Yes, I would, but I would get it, you know what I'm saying, and paint it up to my road, DLLTA, which we have standby units, credit units, okay, to aid with the G-Votes. They'll be in push service. So, yes. So, would I recommend you get this locomotive? Yeah. It's a nice engine, okay. The ESU loc sound, okay, you can reprogram it to, of course, notice I'll reprogram it to according to how P5 horn would sound. Okay, and like I said, with a little work or whatever, you can really bring the engine. There's potential to bring the engine up to the standards which you see outside. Okay, there's plenty of potential. You know what I'm saying? It's workable. Okay, I would get it. And yeah, stuff, man. So yeah, kudos to Atlas. Again, I've been buying, I guess, I don't know, maybe I'm spoiled. I got a lot of scale trains as well as Rapido products. And, I've been, locked in with that as well as Athearn products. And, they're a little more they're more better. Much more better, much more advanced. You get your bang for your buck for the equipment. Okay, go ahead and shut it down. Okay. So for those out there looking for a C40-8, okay, or some call dash 840C, okay, according to your preference or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Some companies call it, shop forces call it dash 840C. I call them C40-8. Either way, it's a dash 8. It's a stock dash 8. Okay, and Atlas got a thing for cookie cutter type things. Okay, but again, I'm not gonna rule it out. Okay, they got the potential, and they coming out with other products that we've been looking for, other products, and I don't know. Atlas as well as Rapido got something going on where they're going head to head with things. Okay, I did a review about the recent release of the MP36-3C, okay, which I did some modifications on that. Pretty much a lot of my Atlas units, I mean, and I get them, what I'm saying, I get the Gold series, okay, the ones with the ESU loc sound, okay, digital command control equipped type locomotives. And I see that it's become a pattern, okay, to where I buy this locomotive, I buy these engines, and I turn around and have to modify it. Okay, I have to add on details and everything. Whereas Rapido, okay, they come with pretty much minimal work. Okay, with Rapido or scale trains. When they're buying the equipment, especially, road specific details. So, Atlas, okay, it's got a wonderful drive. It's, pretty heavy. Well, it's decently heavy. Again, I had to modify it. I had to add weights and stuff, to some of my other engines and stuff. I got quite a fleet of Atlas models, okay, of the Dash 8 series, if anything. B40-8s, C40-8, C40-8Ws, with some of them I upgraded to C42-8s and C42-8 W's. Basically, what I did was I had the weights to give it a little more heft, okay, as well as other details. But other than that, you know what I'm saying, this engine right there is pretty good. I'll purchase a ST60 standard cab to go with this engine, be the EMD counterpart to this locomotive. Okay, even though what I'm saying, ST60Es and ST70 ACEs or ST70 ACUs is the order of the day with these locomotives. So I don't know. This review is kind of long. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. So like I said, stuff. I paid $235 for it. That's with the taxes and everything, New York State tax. So if you want this type of engine, go ahead and cop, and that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's a good engine. Good runner. I think you'll be pleased with it. Like I said, I went on ahead and I took it out the box and I did my work with it. Okay. All right, like, subscribe, like it, bump it up, write it. Okay, so I'm Daniel Lucas, aka Claude Ketchum, Abdul Kabir. Y'all have a safe day, and this, that, and the third. All right, cool.